In this lecture, we're going to talk about OPEX, CAPEX, and the fiscal years. I think it is important to understand budgets, business plans, and roadmaps. It's also important to understand the fiscal year, how we do the fiscal year planning, not just for your exam, but also because you are in IT leadership. And as part of that, this is probably something you're going to do. So let's start with some terms. OPEX is operational expenses. And since it says operational, you know that's the ongoing cost. That's all the things we need to do to keep the lights on, all the processes, all the business systems, everything that we have to do the day-to-day. What do we need to do to make sure we stay in business? We need to have payroll. We need to have our servers running. We need to keep the electricity on. All the things that make our business function. Then we have CAPEX or capital expenditure. And that's all the money we spend on buying new things, implementing new things, improving stuff. And that's what's going to help us grow our business. Here again, let's look at the difference between operations and projects. Operation keeps the light on, it keeps the status quo, but we don't progress. Projects are that unique endeavor with a fixed start and a fixed end and a fixed budget. While the fixed budget may get overrun, so may the schedule, it is still a unique endeavor, and that's what's helping us grow our business. So when you get asked to actually do a budget, you will probably both have CAPEX and OPEX expenses. OPEX keeps the current level, CAPEX improves and does new initiatives. I hope that makes sense. And since we just covered the mission statement, the vision we have for our business, you, of course, completely understand that we build our business plans based on the vision and the mission. And in most organizations, it's normal to have a 1-year plan, a 3-year plan, and then maybe a 5-year plan. And I say maybe on the 5-year plan because at least in IS and IT security, 5 years is pretty far to plan out. There are so many new emerging technologies, and the threat landscape changes so rapidly. So maybe in our area, we would have the 1, 2, and 3-year plans and then the roadmap. This is what we want to achieve within the next year. This is what we want to do the year after that. And this is the 3rd year. And then at least once or twice a year, we update the 1, 2, and 3-year plans. When they're updated, well, then we update the roadmap as well. And just like most other things we do in IT security, this is an iterative process. We keep going in, making small changes, small tweaks, because the landscape changes. Our priority might change. What we have planned may not be feasible. We adjust, we fix the plan, and then we move on. And then finally, let's talk about the fiscal year or the budget year. In most organizations I have been in, we have had a fiscal year that did not align with the calendar year. And there are a ton of good and not so good reasons for keeping it that way, regardless of what they are. But you need to understand that it is normal to have a budget year that starts from whenever the fiscal year starts and ends when the fiscal year ends, not when the calendar year does. So let's say the fiscal year starts July 1st and ends on June 30th. And here again, we would align those 1, 2, and 3-year plans with the fiscal year. Everything is built around that. So when you get 2, 3, 4 months away from the end of the fiscal year and the start of the new one, you might want to start planning ahead. You obviously have a lot of ideas of what we need to do next year because we already have the plans. But this is the time to put the pen to the paper and figure out how do we actually do it. What is it going to cost us? What do we need to improve to get the security posture we want, where we have exactly that enough security, no more, no less. And with that, we are done with this lecture. Thank you for being here, and I will see you in the next one.